What's the most spoken language on earth? Bad English. What annoys me nowadays? It's pure emotion.
How's it, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Supercar Diaries. Today, somebody very special that we're visiting, and I'm sure all of you know Omid.
Hi guys.
Omid.
Welcome to my place. It's a pleasure to have you here. I have to admit, I was just wondering about your perfect British accent, because we were talking German all the time together. But do you know what's the most spoken language on earth?
Not German.
No, it's bad English.
Bad English.
Bad English.
Yes.
I will give it a try in English. I think I can handle it.
Yes.
Okay.
Pretty cool that we get to come and visit
you. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Omid's going to show me a couple of cars, and I really want to pick his brain about his story. So we'll start moving.
Okay.
With the question.
Okay.
I've got 3 million euros and 3 parking bays that are empty. Which 3 cars are you going to sell me?
Okay.
While we walk and talk, we'll get into the rest.
Yeah, we will choose them one by one, wisely. So it's just 3 million.
It's only 3 million. And I'm curious at your experience as to how do you now select the right cars?
Good.
And why?
Okay, let's go for it. Let's start with our...
Not here.
Not here?
It's going to break the bank.
Okay. No, but if you would just go for one car, this would probably be one, but it's over budget because we need 2 more cars, and this car is already over 3 million.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it sold?
Working on it.
Working on it.
Okay,
because I wanted to look at some of the facts and the specs and the price, and I couldn't find it online.
Yeah, no. This is the kind of cars we do off market usually.
Okay.
Because the new owners, they prefer not to have the car in internet before. Bad English. So this is one of the cars we do off market already. And you have the new face of Lamborghini. Now you can see it on the Revuelto also.
This is stunning with the blue carbon fiber.
It's an 80K option.
Only?
Yeah, it costs 80K to make the carbon, which is already there in blue.
Wow.
Yeah, stunning car. One of my favorites in the showroom. Yes, but another car I also really like is this McLaren Senna GTR.
What a car this is. We've done a video on this car. If you guys want to check that out on the channel, you can go up here. Try and buy some McDonald's with this. It's a tough affair. It really is. Hello? Hello? I couldn't hear you.
Actually, this one is one of 75 GTRs ever built. It's chassis 50 of 75, but it's also just one of 8. Yeah, it's a Lansante conversion, so Lansante made the car street legal. And it's 5 of 8. So it's 50 of 75 and number 5 of 8. And I really love the car. It's brand new. Just have a look at it. It's insane. It's for me, probably one of the most beautiful McLaren. Some people say they like the P1 GTR more than this one, but I really prefer the Senna.
It's like a sculptured aerodynamic component, and the fact that you can see what kind of pants people wear while they're driving, that's also really special. It's quite something to drive. At the time that we made the movie, it wasn't allowed yet. They didn't have the conversion yet, but you can make them street legal. It was about to come up. So exciting that we get to see one that actually is street legal. Yeah,
it costs around 400K. The conversion just costs around 400K. And makes the car street legal, so you can drive it on the streets. I mean, I think the wing is huge. It's the Marlboro design, if you remember.
Yes, I do. And the exhaust system is about the only thing that we still produce for this car. So
for the Senna?
For the Senna. You can have the exhaust system for that. Maybe we can put in a clip of what that sounds like.
For example, on a 765 LT, there's so much Novitec possible, but yeah, there's not too much possible on this one, right? Exhaust system.
Yeah. The thing is, we have this mentality that if the manufacturer has done such a great job on the car, that we don't feel we need to come and change it.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes adding something doesn't add value.
Yeah.
So in our stage one, it's often wheel, suspension, and exhaust, and not even all of that needs to apply to all the cars.
Good thing about this one, if you compare it to a Speedtail, for example, it costs half and it works.
Yes.
I mean, the Speedtails, I really love them. I had also one here in my showroom, but most of them are not in working condition because of the batteries and everything. Yeah, another beauty we have here, one of the trophies in our showroom, this Pagani Huayra BC Roadster, one of 40 worldwide. And yeah, this is more a sculpture, this is more a piece of art, I would say, than a car.
Yes.
Just the back of the car, it always reminds me of the Alien movies. Just if you look at the back, you see.
You're right.
Now you see it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Also Independence Day with Will Smith. Also the spaceships they were flying. They also reminded me. It's this part, this one here.
The roof scoop,
the roof scoop
is a very pertinent part of this car.
Yeah.
Oh, it's stunning. It's just, there's so much to say about this. We have made a video on this car. If you guys want to check that out, it was Marcus's car.
Yeah, it was Marcus's car. Yeah,
Stunning.
This is one of the cars.
Again, not in the budget.
Again, not in the budget. Also not the Valkyrie. Valkyrie is also insane.
This is crazy. I mean, there's one thing. What's the one thing that stands out for you when it comes to the Valkyrie?
The one thing is, if you look at the chassis, starting from the back, if you just get on your knees and you look below it, just have a look. Reminds me of an F1 car. The sound is very special. It sounds special.
11,000 RPMs.
Yeah.
11,000. As a matter of fact, you can pretty much
you can
crawl into the car.
And now you're gone.
That is crazy.
This is special. And I think 3 million budget. Probably. Let's keep one of those Ford GTs in mind.
Crazy that you mention that, because they are expensive.
They are expensive. Okay, we have like 900K and 920K. Actually, I would go for the Heritage, for the Heritage version.
Beautiful.
And like, if you take one, because Ford GT is like the American dream. Yeah, it's one of those American supercars. And if you go for a wisely choose portfolio, you should spread.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So let's take a US car in. So I would go for the Ford GT.
Okay.
Yeah.
And definitely in this livery.
Heritage. Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Heritage livery.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Holy
Look, it's all
moly.
carbon fiber. You see it, even the numbers. It's visible carbon.
Okay. Whole hood carbon fiber, this
The
visible.
the whole car is carbon fiber.
Oh, gosh.
And all is painted. No stickers. I would go for this one for sure.
Yeah.
We have still 2.1 million left.
Yes.
Yeah? And you really have a beautiful car.
So we've got one American car in the garage, and it is absolutely
right?
stunning to look at.
It is. So let's have a look. Okay, we have one American.
Wow.
I'm thinking of probably going for a 722, also for your collection.
Yeah, some German goggle.
Some German piece of maybe. Here we have a it's a McLaren SLR, special edition 722, just a 150 build, 150 Roadster and 150 coupes. Cars are of 2009, so 15-year-old cars, but still looking insane, I would say.
Absolutely, timeless.
Yeah.
Timeless.
Let's keep them in mind. I'm not sure if you're going to take one.
Yeah.
But
and
let's keep them in mind.
Which one would be?
Definitely Roadster.
Definitely Roadster.
Definitely Roadster. If you
Okay.
can always choose for a car, go for the Roadster.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, the same with with the 7 with the 812 and with the GTS.
For sure,
And,
always.
And can one say, is there a general markup that is where the Roadster is more valuable than the other one, like 10, 20%?
So the cars are generally more expensive if you order them. I think for the 812 it was around 50k more expensive, but they develop much faster. For example, the 812 is super fast. The coupes, they are around list price today, while the 812 GTS are over list price.
Okay.
Yeah. Meanwhile, they dropped a bit, still over list price, but they dropped because Ferrari announced the 12 cilindri.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on that?
On the car?
Yes.
Good thing is it's still a V12. Yeah. No hybrid.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. What annoys me nowadays is the infotainment system of Ferrari. I'm driving a Purosangue as a daily.
Okay.
And this is really a struggle.
Really?
Yeah, it's really a struggle because
the infotainment or the car?
No, the infotainment is a struggle because you can't focus on driving the car while you're working with the infotainment. All I need is buttons to push.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
I don't want to play with a small touchpads and everything.
The HMI system.
Yeah, which are usually not working great. And in the Purosangue or in the new Ferraris, it's really a struggle to work with them and everything. And it distracts you from driving the car.
Yes. I find sometimes that accidentally you do things. I mean, it's a supercar, so you're busy when you're driving. You know, you're working with the steering wheel, and then you've got these sort of like semi-touchpaddy things on there.
This happened to me when I was driving the Roma and the SF90.
Roma was the worst.
Yeah,
that's the first time.
Yeah,
they did
exactly.
It after SF90 and the
exactly,
V8.
exactly. And you were driving, and suddenly the car was talking to you because you just hit it.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they do it different. The steering wheel is off. The touchpad is off. You need to push it twice.
Okay.
To tap it twice, you need to tap it twice, and then it's activated. But that's also a struggle. Everything is a struggle. Yeah, this is a thing Ferrari should do better. Yeah, and
Speaking of which,
so here we have new generation and old generation. We have SF90 Coupe, SF90 Spider, and in the back we have the 812 GTSs.
Whoa, there's a
V8 hybrids.
A big world of difference between this and between that.
Yeah, I think this is pure performance and this is pure emotion.
I think that's the best analogy I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Statement on that. Pure performance, pure emotion.
And I think with the 812 GTS, they finished a great generation.
Yeah.
And the 812 GTS is like the peak of this generation. Yeah, we had in this decade, in the 2010s, I would say, we had cars like 458 Speciale. We had like the 488 Pista, one of my absolute favorite cars. We also had the LaFerrari in this decade, and the 812 GTS also. And now this decade ends, we have a new generation out, 296, SF90, and I think this 812 GTS marks the climax of this generation, of the 2010s era. It's over, we still have V12, and for me, very important, it's pure emotion, and we have buttons to push.
Yes.
So now you have to make a decision between driving a Ferrari or driving a Lamborghini.
That's unfair. I really am more of a Ferrari person, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And the funniest thing with Lamborghini and Novitec, sorry, this is probably going to get cut out, but the funniest thing is sitting next to Maurice in a Ferrari, in a Lamborghini.
He's too tall, right?
Because he sits like this.
Yeah.
It's the funniest thing in the world.
You see how I'm sitting here? I'm nearly 2 meters, but I'm sitting like a monkey in here.
But then again, this is brute.
Yeah, it is.
This is brute. There's a handful of things about the Aventador, about the SVJ, that just doesn't make sense.
Like?
Well, the robotic gearbox, it's clunky, but then again, when it engages and when you put the throttle, there's so much event happening. And because of the imperfection, you love it.
Exactly.
Who wants to have a perfect supercar? What is a perfect supercar?
Yeah, you need to feel the car, and you definitely feel it when you're driving it. I think the worst thing about the car is actually gearbox.
Yeah.
But it was all the time through beginning with the first one.
Yeah.
First Aventador in 2012, I think.
Yeah.
Until the end, even the Ultime. Yeah, still bad gearbox.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you feel the gearbox more when you drive it slowly, or when you just cruise.
Yes.
Yeah?
When you're slamming on
Yeah,
it,
exactly.
then it's fine.
It's
then
a completely
party,
different thing.
Then it's party all the time.
And you go over 300 kilometers.
Exactly.
You can do 350
Exactly.
with this car easily.
Yes.
Really easily. And for now, it's the best time to rather invest in one Ferrari 812 GTS or in one SVJ. SVJ Coupe or Roadster.
That's marginally cheaper than this one.
It is because the 812 GTS is not officially limited. There is just a certain number of cars. It's not official how many they are. The SVJ is officially limited, so that's a difference in the car. But both cars, we have now the successors out. The Revuelto is already on the street, which dropped the prices of the all Aventadors for now. Yeah. And now we have the 12 Cilindri out.
Which is why those have depreciated ever so slightly.
Exactly. But now we have the Revuelto. It's there. Yeah? And people driving the Revuelto, they understand one thing. It does not have anything in common with an Aventador.
Yeah.
The Revuelto, for me, is a perfect, bigger Huracan.
Yeah.
It's just a Huracan, just bigger.
Yeah.
Easy to drive, very easy to drive,
it's funny
very easy to handle.
that you say bigger, because the other day I stood next to one and I was like, this is it?
Yeah.
It feels a lot smaller than the Aventador.
Yeah, it's just bigger than the Huracan. It's a big Huracan, you know? Like, it's easy to drive, it's full of modern technique, the car is if they are working, they have some struggles with the hybrid. But this is a bad guy. And I think, especially if you go for an SVJ, later on the car will be very, very high in value, because this is also marking the 2010s era of Lamborghini.
Yes.
And times is over, V12 engines, and it's just a special thing. Good time to invest.
This car, the first time, we just started the Supercar Diaries channel, and I think it was about the third or the fourth video. We had a location where we filmed this car and it had a Novitec exhaust system on it. We got kicked off the location because they said it's too loud, and we were actually filming at Memmingen Airport.
Okay.
And we're like, sorry, but this is an airport, like the planes, and they're like, we can't even work in the offices.
Cars are crazy loud,
it's
right?
insane. We actually fried marshmallows in the flames of the exhaust, and we ate it. If you want to see the video,
I've done some similar things with the exhaust pipes.
And also, just another thing, because we're saying the robotic gearbox and it's clunky and all that, but we were in Dubai and we had, 2 or 3 812s that we were where we went into the desert, and we had one of these, and those boys were giving it. They were giving it, and I drove all of those cars, and it was just incredible. This thing had so much more of a dominant feeling, and you see this running in the desert and the sand that it boils up at the back and the airflow. It's incredible, and it keeps working. It just keeps working.
And you really need to handle the bull. You know, if you're driving a Lamborghini, the Aventador, you really need to handle the bull. It's all the time it's fighting with you. There's no car I'm more afraid of driving it than the Aventador.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Because it's different. It's really different. For example, we did gumball with our Bugatti Chiron Sport, and every time we stopped somewhere, people say, "Oh, there's the Bugatti, rev it." We had a W16 engine, 1,500 horsepower, and it was just like woo, woo, and people were like, okay.
You rev this.
And behind us in our crew there was an SVJ Roadster, and the car came up just like vroom, 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 and then there was DDE with their SVJ. I think they just had straight pipes or something in the car. And in terms of loudness and sound and everything, there's nothing like an Aventador. More or less we answered the question, right?
I have answered the question. You're totally right. It is the SVJ. So we've got the Ford GT. And we've got the SVJ.
But guys, I have this is our main showroom, where we have how much cars? 20 to 25 cars inside here. We have a big hall over there with more than 50 cars, so we have still some work to do. And we have another showroom. I don't know if you're making it today, there are 30, 40 cars more just in stock. over there. So spend your money wisely. Thing is, now we spend like 1.5 million. So a car like this costs you around 500-600k. I would go probably for an SVJ Roadster even. So you have to spend 600k. We have 900k, 600k, 1.5. So we have still 1.5 million.
We still have 1.5 to fill up one parking bay.
Okay, we do one thing. We fill up one more parking bay.
Yeah.
But you also need a daily at your doorstep.
Okay.
Okay.
Now I'm curious.
We need a daily. We also need a daily.
It's a good way to get into the other room.
For sure.
Yes.
Easily.
There we are, back in the second showroom.
Exactly.
With a plethora of cars, more than you actually have in the other room, right?
Yeah, that's our. In German we say B-Ware. What do you say in English? Secondary goods.
Yeah, Class B.
Class B goods. Yeah. No, it's not Class B, but actually the cars inside here, they have almost the same value. They have the same value like the cars on the other side. We have SF90s here. I have a Vanquish Zagato there. I have a 765 LT. So I have lots of cars to show you. Also, range of your cars we're selling. Yeah.
Especially this with the beautiful orange interior. This interior is mesmerizing.
You're still calling it orange. Meanwhile, I get used to it.
Yeah,
I call it Hermes. It's Hermes, yeah, or mandarin. I really like the details on the car, like the Rolls-Royce symbol in orange, the coach line in orange. And in German, we call this rims Gullideckel. What's it called in English?
Like a drain lid.
Drain lid?
Yeah.
I prefer the German one. So the audience can just try to say it. Say Gullideckel.
Gullideckel.
Exactly. And this conversion just fits the car perfect, I would say.
Yes.
It's not this too much thing. It's just like perfect.
Omid, I want to just jump from something else because we have a showroom full of cars on that side. Walking here on the outside, lots of cars. This showroom packed. Another one you talked about.
Yeah.
So perhaps on a more personal level.
Yeah, sure.
Where did this start? Where did your love for cars start? And how did you get from there to this?
Yeah. Actually, I'm 37 years old, meanwhile.
Okay.
Yeah? I was 6 months old when we came to Germany. It was in '87. And it started from below zero. My love for cars started in the early 90s, I would say. As a kid, we didn't have internet at this time, if you remember.
Yes.
It was TV.
No internet, no cell phones.
Exactly. We had like TV. We had Deutsches Sportfernsehen, DSF. And once in a week, we had like Motorvision TV. Yeah, there was just one car show per week. Yeah, and it was always on a Sunday.
I was just going to say, was it always Sunday afternoon?
Yeah, it was a Sunday. Yeah, something like this. I don't know. It was 5 or 7, something like this. And there was this guy Wolfgang Rother. He's still in the game, and he was always showing a cheap car, a middle-priced car, and an expensive car at the very end. And this was the car everybody was waiting for.
You're like, that's where
at this time. And also when I was a kid, I started selling cars with my father, or trading cars with my father at the age of 7, 8 years.
Was he into the business of trading
Not really,
cars?
not really. He was trading cars for 1,000 or 2,000 euros. Yeah, we went to car markets on special plots where cars were on the market, and cheap cars, buying a car for 1,000 euro and selling it for 2. And this is how my journey started, actually, really from this place. Like going with my father, buying cars. And trying to sell them. But it's like the Brazilian kids playing soccer in the favelas. This is how I started my car business, from the very bottom. And then I climbed all the way up, and like 15 years ago I had a showroom full of cars worth 10k. But at that time I had a dream, and my dream was really to stand here. I was not dreaming with you to stand here, but I was dreaming to stand here. And I always followed my dream, and it was so much work, and still it's every day it's a struggle. Even achieving something is one thing, but to keep it or to maintain it, it's even harder. Yeah, because if you can just achieve it once. Yeah, but you need to keep it or maintain it daily, fight for it daily. And this is a bigger struggle than just achieving it.
Yes.
And yeah, this is how the journey started, with really cheap cars 25, 30 years ago. And yeah, I climbed my way up.
Well done, man.
Thank
We're
you.
going to get into some more personal questions with Omid. Just to pick you up again, we said we've got a budget of 3 million euros. We've got 3 parking spaces. Which 3 cars
Exactly.
will Omid tell us to get?
Yeah.
So far, it's Ford GT, and we've got an SVJ. We still have €1.5 million open and 1 parking bay. Plus, you're going to throw in a daily for me.
We also have another Ferrari with a really special color just over there. It's a 296 GTS in Viola, Hong Kong. This is maybe one of the most expensive ever left the factory. We have the full carbon package, full carbon exterior, full carbon interior. We have also the horses, the stitching in Viola.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about making an Enlargo out of it?
I would love to. Actually, to be very honest, Maurice was just talking to me and he told me, like, why didn't you make an Enlargo out of this one? And I was like, you're right. So if there's a customer outside who had an Enlargo and he wants to switch to Viola, just do it right now, please, guys. Guys, I have a beautiful one here. You can just pick it up. Free delivery to Novitec headquarters.
Sounds like a plan.
We can think about taking in our collection. I have it here.
Because that's also limited.
It's limited. I mean, it's a track monster.
Wow, the steering on this car is telepathic.
Yeah.
The driving, the interior, the powertrain, the delivery, everything about the 765 LT, I absolutely adore. It is. Okay.
Yeah.
I can carry on.
Are you wet meanwhile? Somewhere?
More than moist. More than moist.
We have Ford GT, the American dream. Yeah, it's full of history, Ford's history and everything. Then we decided between Ferrari or Lamborghini. This historical fight between Ferrari and Lamborghini, who makes the better car and everything, and this whole Lamborghini story, starting with tractors. Do you say tractors?
Tractors.
Tractors in English, and building supercars and everything. So there's a historical fight, and we choose the Lamborghini for our collection. With McLaren, there's a bit of lack of history. Bad English. They're quite new in building cars. 12C was the first own car they produced. The 675 was the first car was the last car of the first generation of McLarens. And then we have this new generation. We have the 570s, we have the 600 LT, we have the 720, 765, now we have the 750. It's a genius car.
Yes, yes.
It's a genius car. I don't know if there's enough. If I had to choose between 765 LT and the SLR 722 on the other side, for sure this is the better car to drive and everything, but there's a bit more performance on the other side still.
I suppose that's another valuable question that I'm asking you, and that is, to which extent do people with money come here and you advise them on buy this because this is going to be good value for money in the long run, or them being totally passionate and just saying, I just want it. Because I'm asking you with the 3 million and the parking base for something that is fun, but also reliable, and it needs to keep its value. There's no point in buying a car and then, 2 years later it's 100,000 less, and I'm like, Omid!
Okay, look, the thing is, usually you buy a car and after 1 or 2 years it's worth less.
Yeah.
That's normal. We had this COVID times where everybody became a car dealer and making money on cars and everything. These times are over now. We are going back to, okay, just wait. Buying cars are there to be driven, to be used. And usually if you use something, it becomes worth less by time. Special cars, limited cars, which can be a good invest for sure. But in terms of investing, it's very hard if you just invest a couple of 100,000s. Yeah. So if you look for the perfect invest and you ask me, Omid, 3 million in just one car, there's so many cars. I could say buy this, or buy this. For example, buy a Ferrari. You can never go wrong with a Ferrari. Yeah. But if it's about spending a couple of $100,000, I'm not sure. I mean, we just ignored this vanquished Zagato on this other side.
It's hard to ignore it because it's quite a visual statement, to be honest.
It's the most beautiful, ugly car I've ever seen. Let's say it like this. Yeah? It's very special. Yeah, just look at the carbon roof.
Certain angles of it look quite sexy, and then certain angles look quite odd. The lights look a bit odd.
The lights are the symbol of the Zagatos. Also, just open it. Look, it's all carbon fiber here. So it's a special car, actually. It's a really, really special car. Even if you open the doors, you see all this Zagato stitchings.
I mean, it is quite sexy. You get the
more you look at it, the more time you spend with it, the more beautiful the car becomes.
What kind of drivetrain do you have?
12. V12. Of course, it's an Aston Martin. We have a V12 engine inside, and also just have a look at the front. See this?
Yeah, now that you mention the details.
Yeah.
650.
650. It's one of 99 ever built. 600 horsepower, 604 horsepower. Let me see, it's 604. Yeah, it's 604. Just 551 kilometers on it. So the car is actually new.
Yeah.
No.
Nah.
No.
Nah.
Okay, let's look for a daily first. Yeah, there are 3 dailies actually here which you could drive. A daily is a car for me where you need to put also your kids inside.
Kids?
Rolls-Royce Cullinan is actually a stunning car. I really love it, but it's not the best daily because it's too big.
It is big, yeah.
It's too big.
It is big.
For example, there's no car I scratch the rims as often as I do it on the Cullinan. Yeah, because it's just too big, it's too wide. If you're in the cities of Munich or Frankfurt, you just feel it's too much.
It's not the kind of car you want to take to Italy.
Exactly. So the Cullinan I love it. I also have a Cullinan registered as a daily. I have a couple of dailies because there's 7 days a week. So
I love this guy. He understands.
There is one of my dailies also. You can see it's registered. And
the puro sangre. What a car this is.
Do you know why I have OM 413?
The OM I can guess.
Yeah.
The 41, you said you 37, so that's not that.
HP, it does not stand for scooter, HP Baxter, no it's not. It's Heppenheim. Then the next letters, you can just try to choose them if they are not already blocked. And then the numbers. 413 kilometers per hour is the top speed I did on German highway.
Holy moly. In the Bugatti?
Yeah.
Did you guys film it?
Yes, of course. The video is online.
Is it on your channel?
Yeah, video is online.
But this is your daily?
This is one of my dailies actually.
One of your dailies?
Yeah, this is one of my...
And this is what you would recommend me?
No.
Not?
No. The Puro Sangre, the first thing I did, I was calling your guys and I was like, I need rims. I need rims for the car. And these are Novitec rims on the car actually.
How do you like the NF11 as opposed to the
I really
NF10s?
love them. So there's a thing about Novitec and rims for Ferrari. I think nothing goes better on a Ferrari than Novitec wheels. I'm not getting paid to say this. Maybe I will get some discounts later, but for now I'm not getting paid to say this. Yeah, it's just beautiful. It's perfect for the car, I would say.
I think the progression from the NF10 to the NF11 with the offset look and the detail, the indentation, I can go on forever, but it is really befitting on this car. Feel though that it could deal with riding a little bit lower. This is Ferrari spec.
Yeah, it's a Ferrari spec. Yeah. One thing I'm actually waiting is exhaust system. Yeah. I'm waiting, guys. I need an exhaust system. The sound of the car is not so nice. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't like it too much. And actually, Ferrari is saying this is not an SUV. Now they call it FUV, Ferrari Utility Vehicle.
Okay.
I would say they recognized after a couple of years that the Lamborghini Urus is something like a cash cow for Lamborghini, and they wanted to come up with something similar, without saying they did something similar. So they brought the Purosangue. I mean, in terms of the design, the car is insanely beautiful, I would say, especially from the front and everything. The car is very beautiful. Meanwhile, I also love the back. From the side, I feel like it's not completely finished. There's something missing on the car.
Even with the carbon side skirts.
Yeah, even with this carbon, like the car could be a bit longer, just a bit. Like.
It is, if you think about the dimension of the rear wheel and then see how little car is actually around it. But yeah, I think I don't want to say too much about the Purosangue because we are going to bring out our stage 1 film on the Purosangue very, very soon, and I'm super excited. And you'd be happy to know that the exhaust system is part of that film. So
that's very necessary.
It's going to be so good. I know what it sounds like already. I've heard it.
But in terms of a perfect daily, this is not a perfect daily for me. Even if you it's too much of a sports car. Yeah, it's like
it's a Ferrari.
Yeah, but it has 4 doors.
Yes.
There are 4 doors on the car.
So you can take the kids with this time.
Yeah, but the car is too dangerous. The rear, was ist unruhig?
The rear is a bit unstable.
Yeah, the rear is too much unstable.
Or too lively because of the power.
It's too lively.
Or is it suspension?
You have too much power on the back.
Really?
Yeah, and it already happened to me a couple of times that my rear just breaks out. Yeah, by pushing the gas not smooth enough.
Okay.
I did not do full throttle. I just didn't push it smooth enough, and the rear breaks out by doing 30-40 kilometers per hour, but also by doing 120 kilometers per hour. There was even an accident with a yellow Purosangue, and the owner reported the same. Like I was pushing the throttle, and the car breaks out. And she couldn't get control over the car, and it was a bad accident.
Wow.
And this is something which happened to me also while driving the car. It's a Ferrari. Not everybody should drive it. Yeah, you should be a good driver to drive it, and you should be a very experienced driver to drive this car. And this is why I wouldn't say in terms of a perfect daily. I mean, the car is insanely beautiful, and you have a Ferrari still. But in terms of a perfect daily, there's also security, and that's why I would go for this one as a perfect daily. There's no car better as a perfect daily than a Lamborghini Urus for me. The Urus is, in German we say, it's the eierlegende Wollmilchsau. Yeah. So let's try to translate it into English.
Okay, let's try again.
It's the eierlegende Wollmilchsau.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah?
Eierlegende Wollmilchsau. What is the crux behind it?
It's a cow.
Is it cash cow?
It's a cow. It's a cow
that lays an egg,
which can even lay eggs.
Okay.
Yeah, something like this. Yeah.
Okay.
And
I have never thought about an Urus as a cow that can lay an egg, but it's an interesting. It's an interesting angle.
Why am I saying this car is a perfect daily? In terms of driving the car, the base of the car is Audi. Yeah. So it's centuries of experience. Yeah. It's a very, very safe car to drive. You can do more than 300 kilometers per hour with one finger on your steering wheel. You always feel safe with the Urus. Yeah, you always feel safe. You still have this aggressive Lamborghini look when you're driving the car, but you can also put 5 people into the car. You can take your luggage, you can go shopping, you can do everything with this car at once. It's a sports car, it's really a utility vehicle, it's a Lamborghini look. And in terms of price, This car, if you have like a Novitec conversion, costs you like 450, 500k in Germany, including the taxes and everything. The Puro Sangue would cost you double. The Rolls-Royce Cullinan is more expensive. Yeah? So I would go for an Urus for sure.
I have to give you right with that. That's this as a daily is absolutely fantastic, especially with a Esteso kit, which is the more wide body thing. We've done that 1,000 times, but the exhaust system and the power upgrade that you can get from Novitec transforms this car, in my personal opinion. As a matter of fact, I drove one the other day that didn't have the exhaust system fitted to it. It was like a completely different car.
Yeah.
The sound on an Esteso makes it. We'll prove it by playing your clip now. So you're saying this is a daily, but not necessarily one to take up the third parking spot?
No, not for sure not, because this is a daily. It's not for your parking spot, it's for your doorstep.
Okay.
Yeah? This is the car, you just jump into it. For sure, you will lose money on it for the next couple of years and everything, but it's a perfect daily.
So I suppose we need to ask the question, what will be the car to fit the last parking spot?
Let's have a look outside. Actually, you're paying too much. I think we won't need...
Pay too much? You haven't sold it to me yet.
We don't need 3 million. Rather give me 5 million or just 2 million. But 3 million is a number in between. I would say let's spend like around 2 million and buy a house for 1 million.
Okay.
Or a nice loft or penthouse or something.
And that brings me to another thing, because we all about cars now, but you not just cars.
Yeah.
You also, in the internet, if we Google you, then it's like, you know, an entrepreneur, a businessman, and you want to share sort of the story of success as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So maybe just interject with like a little paragraph as to what is the message that you want to give to other people, because you seem to want to be sharing a message.
Yeah, message is like, there is no shortcuts in life. Yeah, if you ask me for my main message, I grew up with like starting from scratch, from bottom, from even below zero, I'm always saying. And I always followed my dream, and in order to have the same like other kids have, I had to do more for it. I had always to figure out something. When I was at the age of like 12, 13, 14, and I wanted to have cool clothes that my parents couldn't buy for me, I needed to figure out, how can I get this money? How can I make money? So I started to work, like tossing these newspapers, how you say, Zeitung verteilen in English, like doing jobs 14 years old can do.
Yeah.
And like then with the age of 16, you're officially allowed to work. I was working besides school. So I was doing my high school, and later on I did my bachelor's degree in economics, I did my master's degree in economics. But all the time I was working, I was self-employed, I was following my dream. And people nowadays want to get successful from one day to another, and that's not possible. Like people, I'm starting to get attention for the last 2 or 3 years, but in order to get this attention, I had to work 20 years. So, and patiently. Yes, in order to sell these cars I'm selling today, I had to sell cars worth 1,000 euro, 2,000 euro, 10k, 20k.
I remember what you said. You had a showroom at some stage where the collective value of all the cars were 10,000 euro.
Yeah.
And now it's the set of tires for one of these Steratos would be around about the same.
Talking about tires, at the age of like 18, 19, I recognized that you can also buy tires new. Because all this time, like seeing my father dealing with cheap cars and trying to get just our monthly income and everything, we bought a car for 1,000 euro, so you can't buy like new tires for 600 euro.
Yes.
So we always bought used tires, on used tire markets, and I was used to always buy used tires, and one day I recognized, oh, there's way to buy new tires also. So it's just my message is actually, if somebody asks me for a message, it's just like everything is possible. Yeah, just chase your dreams. There are no shortcuts. It's always 24/7, and the bigger you get, the bigger the risks around you get, and it's just this. Just work. Of course, you need good people around you. That's very important, to hang out with good people, to have good friends, to have to have a non-toxic environment.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
I think that's very important. Nothing should distract you from work. Yeah? You should try to keep your focus always on work, because by working you can buy a house, you can buy a car, you can do everything. But from just showing your house and your car, you won't be able to make money. Yeah?
What I really love about talking with you is that you seem to be very connected to your past. It's not this something that happened and now you like this great businessman and you've made it. Like, you always seem to be very in tune, because in your other videos often you mention that. You always retrospectively look back at your past and say, like, that's also part of the reason why I am where I am. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you for asking me. Actually,
I was interested.
So look, we have the Steratos around us, but I think very nice cars. What do you think about them?
I have to admit to you that it's a very fun car. I love driving this Sterato. It's a lot of fun to drive it. It's all over the place because of the tires. It slips and slides. You go on the brakes, the car moves. It's active driving enjoyment. But I'm not 100% sure if that opinion is the same with everybody else. I don't know, maybe you guys let us know. We just made a video on the Sterato at Novitec. What's your feeling on it? I mean, is it good value for money? Does it have a future? Is it the Dakar pendant? Or
fun thing is, the Dakar is cheaper than the Sterato. It has a smaller engine, but it's more popular.
And this is a V10.
It's a V10 engine inside this car,
Once you put a Novitec
yeah?
exhaust on this is about the only thing you need to do.
Yeah.
And it sounds fantastic.
Yeah, I would rather buy a Sterato than a Dakar, if you ask me. Probably this car is underrated today. It will for sure need time. Yeah, there's a B. It will for sure need some time.
Now it's with you.
Dance moves. I'm not sure if this car will go, like, it will climb to 400, 500, 600, 700k. But it's possible. It's limited. It looks
limited.
very special. It looks great. It's a different thing.
It's a hell of a lot of fun to drive this.
Yeah,
it really
it
is. I think we've come, my opinion, we've come to a point with supercars and hypercars where, apart from Bugatti and some other crazy brands, to break another couple of fractions of milliseconds off the 0 to 100, you know, you need to have so much more. So find another avenue to make a supercar exciting. This is 0 to 100 about as slow as a 911 Carrera Cabrio. And you go like, yeah, well, that's not exciting. Dude, drive this car. You'll have the absolute time of your life. Who cares about if it's half a second quicker to 100? Who cares?
I would say the same. So let's go back to our showroom and make our final decision. So for now, we have a Ford GT.
Yes.
You choose the SVJ over the 812 GTS.
Yes.
So we
although
have two
I
cars.
do love the 812 GTS. It really is an amazing car.
Fun thing is, I don't have a key of my own place.
But you haven't. You brought the B. What is it with this? I'm gonna eat you.
So it's time to make a decision.
Yes.
We have the American dream. We have one Italian dream. And now we have to decide. Actually, we don't really have to decide, because I was saying we have to decide between British, going British with the McLaren 765 LT.
Which would just be a personal driver's dream. I don't know about the value.
Or stay German with the Mercedes. But actually, this Mercedes is still also a McLaren. It's a McLaren.
Oh my gosh, how true is that?
So,
of course.
Yeah, in terms of value and how rare a car is, I would probably go for the McLaren SLR 722. It's limited to 150 cars. It's a roadster. It looks perfect. It costs you 800k. So we had like 900k for the Ford GT. We have like 500k, I would say, for an SVJ Coupe, which makes 1.4, and another 800, 2.2. Then we spent 500k on a Novitec Urus, which makes it 2.7. You still have 300 left over, and you get 4 cars instead of 3 cars.
I can buy myself a small apartment somewhere.
Just let's have another look at this car. This car is really special. You won't ever meet this car this kind of car again. And this is why I would choose this one over the 765. It's an SLR, it's a Mercedes, it's a McLaren. Okay, let me convince, let me do something, and I think then you're on my side. Let's open the hood. Let's open the hood of the car. I will probably need your help. You need
Yes.
2 hands to open it.
Gladly. Yeah.
Okay, so we need to push it to the front first, like this, and now raise it up.
Wow.
And look, what we have here is a, I would call it a real AMG engine. Yeah? It's not like what we have nowadays with a 4-liter turbo something.
Yeah.
This is a real 5.5-liter AMG engine. So we have Mercedes, we have McLaren in this car, we have AMG in this car, we have a Roadster, we have a limited car to 150 pieces worldwide, and just have a look. We have exhaust system in the front.
What do you guys say? I think Marie's nodding his approval. Yeah.
And this makes your collection very special. You have an
And this is also part of it.
Exactly. It's, what is it called? It's scissor doors. It's not a gull-wing door. It's also not a suicide door. Butterfly doors.
Sexy doors.
Sexy doors. Yeah, I think we have an Italian car. We have an US car. And now we have something like a mix of German, British technique. This is the car I would definitely go for.
All right.
Now we should ask the Zuschauer? Bad English. Now we should ask the viewers if they agree with the cars I choose for you today, or if they would go for completely other cars they have seen today in my showroom, or if they say, don't go for 3 cars or 4 cars, just invest the whole money in one car like a Sian or McLaren Senna GTR.
That's what you said one should have done.
Yeah, right? With 3 millions, I would rather go for 1 car in terms of invest than for 3 cars.
Okay.
And then I would really go probably for a LaFerrari or something out of the Ferrari collection.
Fantastic. Well, it has been enjoyable, it's been insightful, and it's been a lot of fun.
It's been a pleasure to me to have you here.
So much for taking the time.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Really appreciate that, and hope to see you at Novitec.
See you very soon. Bye.
Thank you, man.
Bye, guys.
There you go, guys. Wow, what a complete mouthful. There's so much that we talked about. As Omid said before, we'd really love to know if you guys agree with the decision. Would you spread it into the 3 cars? And if so, which 3 would you take? Or would you maybe rather take 1 car or 2 cars and then buy a house? Who knows? Anyways, we'll see you guys next time on the channel in the next video. Until then, stay safe. Ciao.